Hi everyone, my name is Leela and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making beef with oyster sauce. Now this is an easy dish to make and it makes a delicious treat for either lunch or dinner. You can either use a tenderloin steak or a flank steak for this dish. In this video I've actually used a flank steak, and the key is though to cut it across the grain. This is going to produce a tender and juicy meat in the final dish. So let's go ahead and get started on our beef with oyster sauce. Now we want to start with about 1.5 pounds of lean beef. You can either use flank steak, which I have here, or a tenderloin. And the first thing that I want to do is just remove all of the fat, just as much as possible. And once you remove as much fat as possible, just cut it into thin, wide strips. So to do that, I will cut this into about 3 sections. So my first section, which I have here, I just want to cut the meat across the grain this way. As you can see, the grain runs like this. So then I just want to cut my thin strips this way like that, so that I have pieces just like this. And once the beef pieces are cut, I'm just going to place them in a container and then add the marinade. And I'm going to start by adding the sherry, and then the sugar and the salt. I'm using a teaspoon of sugar and just about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just sprinkling it in. And then I just want to use my hand and mix these ingredients into the meat so that it coats each of the pieces. And once I have those ingredients mixed in, then I'm going to add in the cornstarch just a little bit at a time and use my hand to mix it in thoroughly. And once the cornstarch is mixed in, I'm just going to let it marinate for about 20 minutes at room temperature. So while the meat marinates, I'm just going to prepare my green pepper. And I'm going to cut it in half, and I just want to take out all of the seeds and inner white meat. And once I removed all of the seeds, the stem, and the inner white meat, I just rinsed these under cold running water and then dried them with paper towels. Now I just am going to slice them into thin strips, just about this size. And once you have your pepper cut, then you can just set it aside while we prepare our carrot. Now here I have my carrot, which I've already peeled, and the first thing I want to do is just chop off the ends. And when I get to this end, I just kind of want to chop it off at a diagonal. And then I'm just going to cut thin slices on a diagonal like this. And once my carrot is chopped, I'm just going to set it aside with the green pepper. Now here I have a green onion, which I washed under cold running water and dried with paper towels. And I'm just going to chop off the end where the roots are here. And also just about 1 inch from the tops, just to get rid of some of the wilted parts there. And then what I want to do is just cut this into small slivers, just about this size. And once the green onion is chopped, we can go ahead and set that aside. Now for the sauce, I'm just going to use about 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And the oyster sauce that I'm using is actually this Lee Kum Kee Panda brand oyster sauce. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of that and about 1 tablespoon of sherry. And sherry is a cooking wine that can be found in most grocery stores, usually near the vinegar section. And then a teaspoon of sugar. And then I just want to stir and mix this together, and this is going to be the sauce for our beef with oyster sauce. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add my beef. And I'm just going to stir fry it for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then after about 2 to 3 minutes, I'm just going to remove the beef and set it on a plate and set it aside. And once the oil is hot, we can add our green onion and carrot and just stir fry it for about 2 to 3 minutes. And after about 2 to 3 minutes, we can return the beef to the wok and then add in the sauce. And we just want to stir to mix everything up together. And once everything is mixed together, then we can add in the green onions and again stir until they are thoroughly mixed in. And once it's done, then it is ready to serve. Enjoy!